I had one or two people yesterday make inquiries about masking and about how I go about masking up my paintings as I'm working on them, and what tools that I use. So I thought what I would do as I'm masking this particular painting for the second time, I thought I'd just do a quick couple of minute video just to show you the sort of thing that I do. I'm not going to mask a great deal on this particular section, just pick out the highlights that I don't want to lose as I'm working on this particular painting. The first masking that I did, you've probably seen the picture that I put onto the internet a little while ago that showed the whole of the bottom section here masked off. That was so that I could get as near a decent gradiated wash over the page as possible. This next section, it's literally just a matter of just holding off certain areas that I want to be to remain highlighted so that I can work on them at the end of the painting. I use two tools when I'm masking. I used to use brushes when I first started, but I would have been so many brushes that I thought there must be a better way. And then I saw somebody on the internet using one of these things. This is a colour shaper. And this is not an expensive one, it's quite a cheap colour shaper, Chinese colour shaper here. But it does the job really well. And the other tool that I use is this. This is invaluable. This is a lining tool. This will get you lovely straight lines, as straight as your hand will do them. You can even use a ruler to actually get the lines really straight if you want to. It will retain a constant width, and this is ideal for getting on those really fine lines that you want to keep at the end of the painting. I'm going to use this in a second or two, but first of all I thought I'd show you the colour shaper. A word about masking fluid. This masking fluid is what I started working on the I Paint Your Life series with a week or so ago, and if I open it up you'll see it is absolutely, it's old, it's had it. It was far too thick. I persevered for a while and then I thought, no, this is not worth working with, and I went and I bought a box of this. A box, what am I talking about? A bottle of this. Winsor & Newton masking fluid. I like the one that's got a bit of a pigment in the masking fluid, because I find that it helps me to see where I'm putting it and where I've put it once it's on. It's got one of these child-proof tops that tends to get a bit sticky with it as it seals. I put it into this, just a little plastic ramekin here. Doesn't really matter how much I put in, because what I don't use will get tipped back into the bottle. Lid on to stop it evaporating. And first of all, the colour shaper. The colour shaper will allow me to put on thick areas that I want to retain, and I'll just show you on this rock here that I'm going to mask out in the foreground here. If I do that, you can see here that the colour shaper is really very good at working large areas of masking fluid into place. I'm not going to mask the whole of it, just the edge, so that I don't actually lose this edge. And if I get the end of the tip of the wedge of the colour shaper, I can actually get really quite fine applications here on the page, and I'm going to try and drag it into these strange wobbly shapes that are on the edge of this rock. You want to see what I'm doing here with regard to the actual painting, just go and find it on my website, or find it on on Twitter, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Just a few little hints there, just to give you a few highlights that will remain when you put in the rest of the painting. The same goes here for this area here. Let's put in a line down here, a rock, a fissure in the rock that will stay highlighted no matter what I do until the end of the painting, and then I will blend it in with the rest of the work. Now this is a great tool for this. It's a better tool, I find, than the lining tool for this sort of thing, because you want it to stay a natural line. You know, we don't have sharp straight lines in nature. Nature didn't come up with the idea of sharp straight lines. That's a man-made thing. So if we're doing man-made objects, yes, get in those sharp straight lines. There you see we get a very fine line down there. Man-made objects, yep, use a ruler, use the lining tool. Get a good straight line in there, but nature doesn't design straight lines. I'm not going to put too many of these in here. It's just so that when that's a bit thick, that one. I can actually push it out a bit. Now, you see, if you get it there and do what I've done there and you get a blob, all you really have got to do is just a bit of tissue on there to dry it instantly. Rub your finger over it and it's gone. As easy as that. But what we're doing here, we're just putting in just a few of the fissures in the rock, so that we've got those still at the end. I should be working quite delicately on the rock, so I shouldn't lose too much anyway, but handy just to protect these little areas. I think that's probably enough of that. I just really wanted to show you the use of the colour shaper there to apply it. Right. Here, the lining tool. You can see here, dip it into the masking fluid, wipe off the excess, just test it on an area that you know, a lovely fine line there. Now there's just one or two areas in here, so I want a couple of lines that I protect in this background, so that I get a few little crystalline highlights that I can work in at the end. Now you see that it's a totally different line that you get with the lining pen than you get with the colour shaper, and you get these lovely fine lines. There we are, there's another one that just give you what you want. Now with a little alteration of the width, we can even go finer. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that. I just wanted to give you an idea there of the way I apply the masking fluid for these paintings. When it comes to the end, getting the masking fluid off is not difficult at all. It comes off really easy. The thick areas you can peel it off. The thin areas, just rub your finger over the painting and it disappears. If you are going to be using masking fluid on an area that you've drawn out, it's a good idea to draw it out maybe just that slightly bit darker than you would normally if you weren't going to be using masking fluid, and that way when you peel the masking fluid off, because it does take a little bit of the pencil off, you'll still have enough lines to guide you in your work. Okay, so that's masking fluid.